friends. We're going to have a debate or a crossfire about whether it's good for the residents to settle in Tier 1 or Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. There is no way to know the quality of pediatric surgeons who are settling in Tier 1, but I could say the numbers are huge. So since about 20 years, I know that on average in the four major cities, we've had more than 150 odd pediatric surgeons. But the Tier 2, Tier 3 cities never had many. But last few years, we've seen the trend going that people are now willing to settle down in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, create their own kind of medical services, and do well still in their career and life. So let's have two of the debaters here. The first one, please.
Very warm good afternoon to all of you, and thank you, Sareen sir. So I'll be talking about settling in Tier 2 or 3. Like everyone, when I passed out my MCH, I was like a headless chicken thinking about where should I settle. But then there was something which was calling, that is my roots. And I feel the biggest, one of the biggest satisfaction while going back to the town you come from. I hail from a very small town in Chhattisgarh. It's about connecting with the people there, and the happiness that it brings to you is definitely tremendous. And while I was working there, I did some camps around. It's been just a very short time, and we have done some camps, and there are students who had come, and we formed a team with a pediatrician, a ENT, ophthalmologist, a dentist, a psychiatrist, and dietitian. Went in like a team and picked up so many cases which could not have been picked while working in silos. So I think team working does help in such areas. Talking about patient load, we often feel that because people are unaware, we may not be able to get the enough number of patients. This is from my last OPD visit where I was in my hometown in Jagdalpur. This is a town in Bastar, and the caseload is so tremendous because there is no pediatric surgeon in the entire 400-kilometer radius, and there are no experts available. So patient load is there. It's just that we have to take the pain to go to that place and take this initiative to see these patients. So this is that part that I'm talking about. And to the southern part of this is the place where the lacuna is there in Chhattisgarh, and we don't have any pediatric surgical facilities. So I think while we are more, we find it easier to go to Tier 1 and then want to settle in there because everything is there, the seniors are there to mentor us. But then these are the places where we can find great amount of opportunities, and while doing a thing, we'll also get satisfaction as well. But the question comes in that I don't have a team of my own. How will I do it? So this is where I started. I feel that if I sit back and think that I don't have a team and keep crying about it, I'll never get a team. We did one thoracoscopic decortication in that one of the patients, and this got covered in the local media. May not be a big case, but then this is how small cases also get a due recognition, and we can create a good impact doing that. Similar example, this is one of the Google reviews from one of my patients who came in from Orissa. So the region around Odisha also doesn't get a lot of pediatric surgeons, especially Balangir and Katabhanji and that region. So this patient had come up from that region, did a laparoscopic hernia because he was going on to a general surgeon there because he couldn't find a pediatric surgeon. Lap hernia, the attendant was so happy that I didn't know that pediatric surgery is a dedicated branch. So I feel that if we can spend some time in there, we can create a very big impact with the smaller cases as well, which we have learned in our residency. Need not be a very big major case. Then the other thing that we feel as a resistant to going into Tier 3 and Tier 2 is we don't have finances. So when we move in there, we realize that the insurance schemes that are being run in Pan India, we get those schemes there as well. And the picture is from a camp I did a collaboration with a Rotary Club there. There were more than 90 crorepati families that had come in. I'm not talking about that we just need to cater to them, but the money is there with lots of people who want to do it as a charity or a CSR, but they don't know how to make the ends connect. As Wilmurugan sir was also in the last presentation, he had showed how he has been utilizing. It's an inspiration for us juniors to, think out of the box and try to solve the problems that are there in front of us. When we see in tier 2 and tier 3, another advantage that I feel is cost of living. In Delhi, when I was staying for a short stint there in South Delhi, the rental was around 40,000 per month. Even when the salaries are high, you may not be able to save a lot of money because the rental is very high, the cost of living is very high. In Raipur, the rent is around 20,000 for a 2 BHK, and in Jagdalpur, it goes down to 8 to 10,000 per month. That's it. Quality of life is something which we all keep talking about, but then it's a thing we don't want to focus in. Quality of life is quite better, although you may say that the facilities like big malls or those things are not there, but then I feel quality time is time with family. This place is just 30 kilometers away from my home. I went there during Diwali and had a good time with my family. And I think this is what we cherish. It's not just the money we earn, it's the time with the family as well that matters. And fresh air, I don't need to monitor the air quality here, so that's a added advantage for me. The other thing we feel, competition or, we may get competition not from, yeah, just two more slides, sir. So we may feel that competition is not there. We may face the competition from other branches, like general surgeons or other specialties. We may collaborate with them and grow. The legal issues are definitely lesser in these areas. And the other thing was regarding lack of resources, but I feel if lack of resources is a problem, then we can definitely work. This child was from ICU, wherein I had to wash my hands and then scrub using a sterilized newspaper because they did not have resources. This 900-grammer baby survived. I worked in tandem with pediatrician there, and I say that hope is, this is from a movie, they say hope is a good thing. It may be the best of the good things, but no good thing ever dies. So we cling by that hope, and probably with the support of the seniors, we feel that we are not having support. This is my chat. I kept discussing the cases with my seniors. Where I had discussed with Vikesh sir, one of the cases where I was wanting some second opinion. So we can always reach out to seniors using a telephonic consult. And just concluding here that I'm pretty happy settling in tier 2 or a tier 3 place. And this is where my father had come to my OPD, and this is, I think, a success for me. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, all. So my point is on pediatric surgeons settling in Tier 1. What are the advantages? So we'll start with the healthcare and infrastructure. So people there are mixed population, people who have good literacy and good work and atmosphere is also there, and also there are tier 1 cities are always a combination of poor people, slum people, and also a lot of group of immigrants are there. So they also, as Tanmay said, when there are crowpathis in tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, they tend to move to tier 1 for healthcare facilities, which with my experience which I have seen. And also the latest technologies like robotics and the opportunities to learn are also in tier 1. And for pediatric surgery, we need a multidisciplinary team, mainly the pediatric ICUs, newborn ICUs, which are better in tier 1, and also the laboratories, the recent technologies which are very important for pediatric setups is also in tier 1. And the team, which is mainly of so specialty teams like pediatric anesthetist, pediatric radiologist, and intensivist, it is very easy to find the team in tier 1 more than tier 2. And also the supportive staff, the nursing staffs, most of the like highly educated and the certified staffs are trying to move to tier 1 more than tier 2. While in tier 2, we have to find a person, train them, and use them for the experience can be given, but the certification is very difficult for, and who try to get their certification, try to move to tier 1. And we have a lot of meetings and multidisciplinary approaches in tier 1. And about the patient load, there is a diverse population, and we can always see the diversified patients which we get. And also the referral rates are higher for tier 1 compared to tier 2 and tier 3. And there are also international patients who fly to the metro cities in India for the healthcare and also the health literacy among the patients. So they are okay to be convinced easily compared to the patients in tier 2 and tier 3. And about the access to the hospital, there are metros available, and also the transport is better. The ambulances are also better in tier 1. And there is, I see little bit of gender dysphoria in tier 2 and tier 3 compared to tier 1. And as a female surgeon to survive, there is some dysphoria among the patients which we see in tier 2 compared to tier 1. And patients do have corporate insurances, which is very helpful for the maximum management, high quality management, which can be given. And there are a lot of schemes and reimbursements. And for the doctors and for the medical legal aspects, we have indemnity insurance and also a law firm which can be easily accessed for the doctors who practice in tier 1. And about the family, the work-life balance can be good also in tier 1 compared to tier 2 and tier 3, because we get helps and we usually live as big families in tier 1. And also the children are the very important after marriage. It's all, the decision is shared upon by the spouse and the child's future. So for their education and the co-curricular activities and also the confidence to build up, it is easier for the children to grow into a better person, like average children also in tier 1 compared to tier 2. In tier 2 and tier 3, there are children who come up like equivalent to them, but they need to be exceptionally academically wise rather than being an average student. And also traveling is better in tier 1 because we have all railway stations and airports in tier 1 compared to tier 2 and tier 3. And family sometimes also includes pets, and the pet care and the pet grooming is all better, and the hospital for pets are better in tier 1 compared to tier 2, because I have a bad experience of losing my pet when I was in my childhood in tier 2 cities. And personal growth, I always believe, once Walt Disney said that human life is always with a journey of competition, and a diamond can be a diamond only if it is deep inside the earth and under higher pressure. So competition is essential for you to be molded, and the more pain and challenges you undergo, the better person you can be. So that is what I can give for the challenges and competition which we meet in tier 1. And also the cost of...
Abhirami, you got to stop.
Yes, sir. Just one more slide. The cost of living is high, so we tend to work hard to compensate the cost of living. And thinking out of the box also comes in tier 1 for an average student like me, more than in a cozy environment in tier 2. So I like to end up my conclude with there are more research and academic opportunities, conferences, media and collaboration opportunities more in tier 1 than in tier 2. Thank you.
Tanmay, your rebuttal. You can go for your rebuttal.
That's fine, that's fine. I don't need the presentation. So, the points that she talked about in favor of tier 1, I feel rail and road connectivity, especially the air connectivity with lots of government schemes, it's still there in tier 2 and tier 3. Pretty much accessible. My place also has got an airport, so that's pretty much there. The other thing that we talked about is the quality of life. I feel I'll just summarize in a share. I'm sorry for making it a little like this, but then it's about slowing down at times as well. किसी को कामयाबी में सुकून मिला तो वो भागते रहे, हमें सुकून में कामयाबी मिली तो हम ठहर गए, जीते जी न जाने बशर तू ऐसे क्या कर रहा है, जितना तो जीना भी नहीं उतना तो मर रहा है. So this is what we go around, and then we often forget that there is a line that needs to be drawn while we are hustling around. And I believe that time with the family is also important, and a time for self is also important. Most of the time that we lose in commuting in the tier 1, where to reach a place it's around a 1.5 hour or 1 hour in the traffic every day. And the other points that I feel, yeah, team building can be a challenge, the resources can be a challenge. But I feel those can be overcome if we have a will. There are people who would want to donate, but if we are skilled enough, I think we can move into tier 2 or tier 3 and motivate others so that these people can put in the money and then we can build something around it, because that's what we are there for. Yeah.
You stay there. She go on the other side. Yep. Go on.
So rebutting his point, so the reason for me to move to tier 1 is to have a good family time. Family time can be both in tier 2 and tier 3. It's how you organize your day. And also the commute, maybe in your part of tier 2 and tier 3, you have airports, but we don't have in South India. The birthplace, my childhood was in a tier 3 city. Till now, there is no train running there. So we don't have travel access also. And about the quality of air in the part of Chennai where I live, it's a very good quality of air, and beaches are there, and we do have place where we can roam around. And about the help which we need, the team help which we need is easier in tier 1, because there is more about our pediatric surgery department. We have a lot of pediatric surgeons in tier 1 more than tier 2 and tier 3, and we can have help. Even if we don't have a team, we can call for some friends to help. Those are my points to rebut.
There's just one more point. We talk about settling in tier 1. Tier 1, we are sitting in our OPD, we are searching for the patients. Tier 2 is the other way around. The patients are looking for you and you're not there. So you just need to be there, and the patients are there. There'll be lots of TEFs, CDHs, lots of hernias, hydrocele. They are roaming around and looking, can I get a doctor? And this is where they land up. Again, I'm not there to judge general surgeons, because they are there and they just operate them. Unfortunate to say this, when I reached to my place, I saw CDH being operated by a midline laparotomy. And I think as a fraternity, or as a people who have come up from such institutes, it's our responsibility to go there and take over these cases. Because we can sit in tier 1 and we can say that we are not getting the cases. The other option is we can go to tier 2 and we can say, hey, I am doing it. If there are seniors, if there are other people who would want to settle in tier 1, I will send the challenging cases to them.
But also in tier 2, there are chances of lot of native treatments compared to tier 1, and people do believe a lot in native treatments more than our allopathic medicines. In tier 1, the health literacy is comparatively okay. But about the other persons doing pediatric surgery, even in tier 1, in the periphery, we had a pediatrician who's doing a circumcision, which was a shock. So that can happen anywhere, not only in tier 2, tier 3, but also in tier 1. So we can access to the peripheries and also the rural centers near us, tier 1 places, and we can organize camps, create awareness to get the children here for the better healthcare.
Although I have worked in medical colleges in more like tier 1 cities also, but like in Delhi, we have about 200 people. I mean, few of us are fortunate to work in tertiary centers where, again, you may not have all the facilities that were tabulated by her, the best of everything. And I know that some of the people who work in private practice in Delhi, they live real stressed life, moving around from one place to other, looking for a patient, looking for a job. And we're very, very fortunate to have Raman with us, who spoke yesterday. Raman, could you please stand up first? Could you just focus on him? Yep. So this man is a big inspiring force for all of us, even for me, who has always worked in a tertiary medical college. The social responsibility cause that he took over, and he created, that warehouse kind of thing into a big medical facility, which may not have the best of things, but he provides so much more to the society. So I personally would tend to kind of, swing towards Tanmay, and I would encourage more and more young people to go to tier 2 and tier 3. You will all settle down there and create ICUs and have good anesthetists eventually. You may not have the DM, pediatric anesthesiologist, to work for you, but you will eventually have a friend who does know good anesthesia, and you'll make a good team. Thank you so much. Thank you.